Hi, I'm Linda Wasserman. So growing up, I always had a big issue with my boobs because I was flat-chested. And my mom kept telling me, you know, you're a late bloomer, so just be patient with it. And I was like really patient. And I just kept waiting for puberty to kick in. I just figured one day you wake up and boom, there they are. And I think I was in high school when I finally realized puberty was over, and that was all I was getting. I was like an almost A, you know, if I had enough padding in there, I could call it an A. And I just always, you know, bra shopping was torturous, bikini shopping was torturous. And eventually I just finally, you know, got used to them. They were what they were. I figured someday I'd have a boob job, and I just accepted that fact. And I figured anyone who dated me was, you know, an ass man. So it was kind of a shock on October 24th, or I'm sorry, November 24th, when the phone rang and my doctor told me I had breast cancer. And I remember looking over at the clock. It was 12:41. And it's kind of weird to be cognizant of the minute your life changes, but I can still see the, you know, the digital readout, like just the numbers glowing in front of me, 12:41. It just grabbed me. And I don't know, you'd think cancer, you would be full of dread and full of horror. And my first thought was, woohoo, boob job. And my second thought was, how can I get breast cancer? I barely have breasts. So I was just kind of filled with comedy, which is a little bit of a, God, what do you call that? Kind of a relief, you know, it's my way of dealing with stress. It was pretty hard. It was really difficult. I decided to have a double mastectomy because I never wanted to hear from the doctor again that I had cancer. And I became so breast obsessed. I was like a 15-year-old boy. I mean, I'd be at the mall just like looking at breasts all the time. And my husband didn't mind, you know, because he's like next to me and I'm like, look at her. Those look pretty good. And he's like, well, yeah. So, you know, and Barbie she's like the ultimate woman. When you're growing up and you're a little girl, you have Barbie and you just aspire to be her. And, you know, here I am looking at all of these boobs and you know, looking at my Barbie doll. And I didn't get a chance to go to a strip club. I really wanted to because I wanted to look at some fake breasts. I don't think I've ever looked at boobs this much. I've certainly never felt any other breasts but mine, but I got to go into the bathroom at work with a couple of girls who had boob jobs, and I got to feel them up. So I felt a lot of breasts. I looked at a lot of breasts, and I finally, you know, I had my surgery, and I had a really good prognosis. I was never worried about the cancer. I knew that the doctors would get rid of it. I was never worried about chemo or radiation because they assured me I wouldn't need any, and I didn't. So my whole thing was, what are they going to look like? I was really worried about that. You know, it's one thing to go to the doctor and say, give me a boob job because you choose to. It's another thing to go to the doctor and say, save my life and give me a boob job, you know, rebuild them. They were like, it was like going to, you know, it was like getting bionic boobs. I love them now. I love being alive every day. It was about a 9-month journey from surgery to surgery, and I'm thrilled. I'm happy. These are the new girls. Had to get rid of the old pair. They were killing me. A lot of the things that were my first thoughts have made it into my stand-up comedy that I'm doing now because it's my way of dealing with pain and stress and hurt and fear. And I've kind of channeled it all into the world of comedy. I love, after a show, having people come up to me because I've just spent like, you know, 10 minutes, whatever, talking about breasts and breast cancer, and having people come up to me and say they're the sister, the mother, the daughter, the brother of somebody who had cancer, and they love my take on it. They love that I'm poking fun at it, that I'm talking about it, because nobody talks about that. You know, cancer is scary. It's a scary word. It's a scary thing. I was scared. You know, I was depressed. I was scared. And I love being able to share that with people and let them know, you know, life goes on. You live. So I'm glad to be alive. Glad to have my new girls. And turns out my husband was a breast man after all. So there you go.